Proposition 128. If there was a subquantum realm of mass and energy far below the smallest scales we can measure, then another prediction would be that space-time would appear to bend and warp in the presence of mass. If it were not for mass below the scales we can measure, space-time would not be bending and warping due to gravity. Proposition 129. Our fine structure constant is due to the equilibrium state of relative mass energy density across the relative density of our localized spacetime. The similarity between the fine structure constant and the golden angle golden ratios that we see through many separate evolutionary processes seeking to optimize growth potential seems to indicate that our subatomic scale factor coupling constants could potentially be a naturally occurring growth pattern. Proposition 130. The fine structure constant is often quoted as being very close to 1 over 137. The golden angle found all over nature is 137.5. The golden angle pops up throughout nature as growth patterns try to optimize naturally. So one meaning behind the fine structure constant could be a natural outcome of the growth patterns, not of life, but just nature, seeing co-moving frames of reference looking like waves in motion growing between the subquantum and quantum realms. Proposition 131. Seeing that the spacetime indices of the field equations of the general theory of relativity tensor matrix starts with time, it would be fair to say that time is in fact the first dimension, followed by 3 spatial dimensions. Proposition 132. No three-dimensional entity can truly claim existence unless it traverses its own unique line segment of time. To exist means to be measurable in no less than 4 dimensions. Proposition 133. The increase from a lower dimension to a higher dimension only occurs when a lower dimensional object intersects a new line of measurement and can be measured on at least 2 or more points along this new line of measurement. You cannot make up imaginary curled up dimensions without applying a specific measurement to each dimension. Proposition 134. First, the line of length intersects the length of time. Then the line of width intersects that 2-dimensional object. And lastly, the line of height intersects that lower dimensional for every 4-dimensional object to truly exist. Proposition 135. Any intersecting line of measurement where a lower dimensional object cannot be measured on more than a single point along that new line is indistinguishable from its lower dimensional self. 2 or more points must be measurable along this intersecting line of measurement for an object to be able to be classified as a higher dimensional object. Proposition 136. If we cared to think about energy and mass as intersecting lines of measurement, then we are each 6-dimensional objects. While including heat and other forms of radiation, we may be at least 7-dimensional and possibly even 9-dimensional. Proposition 137. Hidden curled up dimensions and supersymmetry help string theory jump the shark. The math that explains how tiny waves of energy can vibrate to create the quantum fields of our standard model may offer a unique way to express reality mathematically, but that is as close as useful as string theory will ever get. Proposition 138. There are no point strings or point particles, but only the limits imposed by the laws of physics on the degree of relative scientific precision obtainable, where we can distinguish between the waves of energy in motion and the particle-like nature of our atomic building blocks that manifest when and where needed.